So I feel like my job is to heal out loud and be so much myself that every woman who encounters Girl Just Heal feels that she has no other choice but to heal and grow and evolve into the best version of herself because that's exactly what she's surrounded by the moment she enters this space. What's poppin', homegirl? Welcome back to the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm Neimoya Basden, and listen. Y'all, I'm feeling good today. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? How y'all been doing? I hope and pray that you have been doing well, you have been feeling well, and that you have been healing well. So I'm in a little bit of a good mood today. I guess like all my days, I'm pretty much in a good mood. And some days where I just feel like blah, but today I feel really good, y'all. I done got dressed, y'all. I've had this jacket for a minute now, and I remember when I got it, I was like, what am I going to wear that with? Like, I didn't know what I would pair it with, but y'all, the jacket is jacketing, okay? The jacket is jacketing. And if you are listening on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, by now you know that we are on YouTube. So if you want to see the look, if you want to see the fit, the background, all that good stuff, come on over to YouTube, join the homegirls here on YouTube. And yeah, we're going to just get into it. But I hope and pray that y'all are doing well. Let me just say, I love Girl Just Heal. I love all of you ladies who make Girl Just Heal, Girl Just Heal. Like, the community is growing beyond my wildest imaginations. And if you're not a part of the Girl Just Heal Facebook community, you are definitely missing out on a treat. And I do not say that lightly. I do not say that to just try to make you come join. No, baby, when I say that, I am saying that from my heart, and I truly mean that you are missing out on a treat if you are not a member of the Girl Just Heal Facebook community. But it's okay because I dropped a link in the description of this episode. Easy access, take you right to the group. You can join, become a part of our amazing community of women who are just determined to heal. Like, I have not seen a group of women who are just so determined to heal and just become the best version of themselves. And this community is so amazing because I remember when I was like down in the trenches with things that happened to me. And to be honest, I didn't just wake up looking in the mirror like I want to become a better version of myself. Baby, I wanted to sit in those emotions. I wanted to sit in those feelings. And I was like, you know what? It was days that I felt like it was going to take me out. So just having this community and seeing all these women who are determined to be better than they are, better than they were, it just warms my heart so much. So yes. We're going to go ahead and get into this episode. And I want to start out reading a review from another one of the homegirls. So this review is from Leah Shell. And it says, I have been listening to your podcast since Monday, May 1st, 2023. And I feel like every message that you had was for me. Okay, yes. I find it to be a blessing that I came across your TikTok account right in time of Mental Health Awareness Month. I just listened to the Who's Watering You message and knew that this community was for me. Come on, baby. Come on, look. I love that so much. And I'm going to take a pause there. It's more to the review. But I love that so much because when something is for you, you going to feel it. When it's your time, like you just going to feel when something is for you. But that's not the only part I love about it. What I love about it is that when people feel that something is for them, they take action and actually go and get whatever it is they feel is for them. So you felt Girl Just Heal community was for you, and baby, look, she became a part of the Girl Just Heal community. That's taking action, and sometimes we don't do that, especially in the healing process. Like, we know that man ain't good for us. We know that that's a toxic relationship, but we still want to keep his phone number because he smelled good, because he looked good, because he may have bought us flowers after he verbally abused us, and that made us just feel better, like, oh, well, he really does love me. But it's like, when you know that something ain't for you, then you need to act accordingly. Just as when you know that something is for you, you need to act accordingly. Now, we ain't gonna talk about that, but it just, you know how we flow. All right. So she goes on to say, I am very thankful for you and pray that God continues to use you. All glory to God. Come on. And then she's talking about the prayer cards. She say, also, the prayer cards are amazing. Okay. Like, listen, I have been getting so much feedback on these prayer cards. Let me tell you, the Dollar Tree really did something with these prayer cards, because, baby, y'all have been eating these up. I got some of the homegirls in the community who went to the Dollar Tree, y'all, for me, found some prayer cards. I'm going to get her to send them to me, and I'm going to be mailing out prayer cards to the ladies of the Girl Just Heal community. And, like, let me just tell y'all, these prayer cards has really been such a blessing, not only in my life, but I see it be a blessing in your life. And I'm just so thankful for that. So without further ado, baby, you already know what time it is. It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. It is time for the prayer cards. Prayer cards. Eight prayer cards. Prayer cards. It's time for the prayer cards, y'all. And y'all already know God be coming and wrecking shop on these episodes with these prayer cards. And I love it. I love it. I love it. So, oh, and I didn't even get to say thank you, Leah Shell, so much for their review, homegirl. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for being a part of the community. Just thank you for the support. And I'm just so glad that the Girl Just Heal podcast was what you needed when you needed. And I'm just glad to have you around, homegirl. Let's heal together. So, all right, let's go ahead and grab one. Where are we going? We're going right here. We're going to go right here today. Okay. Y'all, I can't wait. It's like, you know how when you anticipate something and like you can hardly contain yourself? Baby, that's how I feel with these prayer cards. Okay. So, our prayer card for today, the scripture is Matthew chapter 28, verse 20. And the verse is really simple. It says, no, let me get it right. We got to quote this stuff right. It says, I am with you always. And if I could take a guess, honey, I know that this is Jesus speaking, because when you get into the New Testament, you really reading about the life of Jesus. But we're going to go to the scripture in my Bible app, because let me just tell you, he will never leave nor forsake you. Even when it feels like he ain't around, even when you feel like it ain't nobody. Like, have y'all ever got a feeling that you just like, I don't have nobody in my corner. I ain't got nobody with me. And then it's like, out of nowhere, that feeling, that lonely void, that void inside of you, that lonely feeling just becomes filled. And you look around and you like, it looks like I don't have nobody, but I feel like I got everything I need. Woo! My good. Okay, come on. Let's go. Okay, Matthew chapter 28, verse 20. Yes, the Bible is in red. And when it's red in the Bible, that means Jesus is speaking. So it says, teaching them, this is the Amplified version, teaching them to observe everything that I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, remaining with you perpetually, regardless of circumstance. Oh my God. And on every occasion, even to the end of the age, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of the mistake you made, regardless of the bad decisions, regardless of how many times you say you hate yourself, or how many times you look in the mirror and you don't love yourself, regardless of all of that, regardless of any circumstance, regardless of the heartbreak, regardless of the sexual abuse, regardless of the trauma, regardless of the divorce, regardless of the financial issues, regardless of every circumstance, Jesus said, I am with you always. Always. I am with you always. I ain't never left your side. I ain't never gonna leave you. I ain't never gonna turn my face away from you. Even when you feel like I ain't listening to you, even when you feel like I'm not there, I'm still there. Jesus is the perfect example of moving in silence. Let me just say that. Look, Jesus, when I think of somebody, like, it's something that's been going around social media for a long time where people be like, oh, move in silence, or I'm moving in silence. I'm not showing nobody or telling nobody what I'm working on. Like I'm just gonna move in silence. But Jesus is the best example I've ever seen of moving in silence. And it's so amazing to me because he don't have to be loud when he do stuff. Oh my goodness, we going there. Jesus don't have to be loud when he does things. When he come and pull you out of that rabbit hole, when he come and pull you out of that darkness, baby, he ain't got to broadcast it to the whole world. He ain't got to tell people, because guess what? When he pull you out, they gonna see the glow. Baby, I would clap on that. When Jesus deliver you from something, baby, they are going to see the glow. He don't have to. Actions speak louder than words when it comes to Jesus. He don't have to say anything. He don't have to mumble a word. He don't have to say, yeah, I pulled my daughter out of that darkness. Yeah, I pulled my daughter out of depression. No, he don't got to say that. He gonna pull you out and tell you, go forth and be great. And when you go forth and people are able to see the healing on your life, people are able to see the change that's happening inside of you, because when Jesus comes in and touches you, woo, when he comes in and changes you, baby, what's on the inside is going to start protruding to the outside. And then people going to be like, you look different. Did you do something to your hair? Like, do you have on makeup? Like, what's going on with you? You look different. No, baby, this that Jesus glow. Uh-oh, this that Jesus glow. Hold up. Hashtag Jesus glow. I got to do something with that. Jesus glow. This that Jesus glow. So anytime somebody come up to you and tell you something after you know that God delivered you from something, after you know Jesus' hand is on you, just say, this that Jesus glow. What, girl, you got on makeup? No, I got on that Jesus glow. Girl, did you do something different to your hair? Nah, baby, that's just that Jesus glow. Oh my goodness. So y'all know these scriptures just come in and they just wreck shop. But let me read it again one more time. In the Amplified version, our prayer card was Matthew chapter 28, verse 20. And it says, teaching them to observe everything that I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, remaining with you perpetually, regardless of circumstance and on every occasion, even to the end of the age. And I just want to add amen, amen, and amen to that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and slide right on into this episode. And for this episode, y'all, I have been thinking about just the growth that I've been experiencing for the past, like, however many months. I think like 2 months, because we just surpassed 2 months of launching Girl Just Heal, which was May 8th, made 2 months, because the first episode dropped, or the trailer to the podcast dropped on March the 8th. So I've been just thinking about all of the growth that I've been experiencing. And I was talking to my therapist and I was like, I'm getting a little overwhelmed, but overwhelmed in a good way, because I'm just experiencing so much growth. And it's like now I'm walking in what I've prayed for. And as I was overwhelmed, child, I just heard the Holy Spirit say to me, don't run now. Like, you've been praying for this. You have been praying for this for so long. You have knew that this was going to happen in your life. Like, you felt this calling on your life for so long. And now that it's manifested, what you running for? What you scared for? What are you afraid of? And sometimes we will be down in the trenches just real bad. Like, when I was going through my depression and anxiety, like, I wanted to be delivered so bad from that. And sometimes we'll deal with things where we like, Lord, if you just get me out of this toxic relationship, I promise you, I won't go back. I promise you, I'll serve you. I'll live for you. I'll do what you want me to do. Lord, if you just help me bounce back from this divorce, I promise, God, that I'll use my time to serve you and I'll rededicate myself to you. I'll use my body. I'll give my body to you and my body will become this holy temple. God, I won't abuse my body anymore. Lord, if you just deliver me from this sexual abuse, God, Lord, I will help other women come out. And we say all of these things, but when we start seeing that we are being delivered, why do we run from that? Child, I mean, you track and fielding, you running. And God is like, don't run now. You are walking in everything that you've been praying for. And I think sometimes the reason why we run is because we are afraid of the unknown. It was comfortable to me when I was in my mess. It was comfortable to me when depression and anxiety was sitting on me. It was comfortable to me when I was wearing those clothes. But now you want me to change those clothes and put on another outfit that I don't even know if it's going to look right. Baby, I don't even know how to accessorize this outfit. I don't even know what shoes match, what hat match. Like, I don't know anything about this outfit. And God, you telling me you want to put this on. And you telling me you want me to put this on. And God is telling you, but you prayed for this. You asked me to provide for you. You asked me to provide a way out. And now that I've given you a way out, why are you running? Don't run. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid of that person you are becoming after the pain, because that person is the person that's going to help so many people through. I'm telling you, if I would have known that I would be who I am today as I was going through what I was going through, baby, I wouldn't have run. Like, I would not have run for as long as I ran. I would have not, because I am so thankful and so grateful that God is using me in the capacity that he's using me. Now, with that said, and remember I told y'all before, it's easier to say stuff than to do it. Like, it's easy to say stuff when you ain't in a situation. But now that I'm in the situation, I'm like, Lord, I want to do it, but I just feel like a little bit overwhelmed. Like, and it's not in a bad way, y'all. I really was in tears because I was so amazed at what God was doing in my life. I was so amazed at the impact that I was having on so many women and am continuing to have on so many women. It amazes me every single day that I wake up and I see that, somebody done dropped something in the Facebook community, or somebody done filled out the form for the topics, or they left a review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, like they emailed me, whatever. Like, whenever I see all of that, I'm like, Lord, I did pray for this. I did pray for this. So whenever I get those feelings inside of me where I want to run, and I'm like, Lord, I don't even know if I can do this, because sometimes, and I'm just going to keep it real, okay? Because I have not arrived. I do not have it all together. Sometimes I feel this self-sabotaging spirit creeping back up. And it has been creeping back up lately, now that I'm operating in the lane that God has for me to operate in. And so sometimes I self-sabotage myself, and I'm like, Lord, am I really qualified for this? Like, it's me, and I still question myself. I still question the call. I still question what God has me to do. And when I tell you, the word that God has been dropping to me is don't run now. So when God comes through for you, when God answers your prayers, when you start walking in those things you've been praying for, baby, don't run from it. Don't run from it. And some of the ways that we know that we're kind of running from it is, like I said, old feelings come up, but we have to discipline ourselves and not go back to our old mindset. And that is something that I'm disciplining myself on. I'm working on that because I feel it creeping up. And when it creeps up, What do I do with this when self-sabotaging come back up, when me doubting myself comes back up, when me thinking I'm not qualified, when all those thoughts come back up? I need to know how to sort those thoughts out and kind of like get over those thoughts and know that God told me that this is my lane. God told me that goodness and mercy shall follow me all of the days of my life. God told me that he has his arms around me. He's going to protect me. He's going to elevate me in due time. And because he told me all of this, when those thoughts come up, I'm not going to run away. I'm not going to run away. And I'm really encouraging myself through this episode as well, because I just feel like God has been so heavy on me, telling me, child, don't run now. Don't be getting scared now. Don't want to go back now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've come too far. You have come too far. You've made too much progress for you to go back. When God delivers you from that toxic relationship, when God delivers you from that broken mindset that you had, don't run. Don't run away from the person you are becoming. Don't run away from your new identity. Don't run away from that. You stay on that straight and narrow path. Don't get scared. Don't get afraid. And I know that's easier said than done, because you may have those feelings to come up. But what I should say is, when you get scared, when you get afraid, don't give in to those feelings so much so that you start running back to the person you was before God came and just showed up for you. I really can't imagine me going back to the Neimoya I was before God began to elevate me, because it's like I felt so stagnant. I was going through a season of stagnation that was out of this world. And I just felt like God had just turned his face from me. He wasn't studying me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, whatever. Because I was trying to do everything on my own. I was trying to do stuff by myself. I'm steady doing ideas and stuff that wasn't God ordained, but I just wanted to move. I'm like, I need some movement, and all movement ain't good movement, especially when you moving out of the will of God. Whenever you're moving outside of what God has for you, it may feel good in the moment, but that moment is going to be short-lived. Because you are not doing what he called you to do. You doing something to pacify you at the place that you are now. And I was doing a lot of that. So for me to even go back to that person that I was before Girl Just Healed, it's impossible to me. It's really impossible. And I'm like, I can't go back. I can't afford to go back. I can't afford to go back. And I always used to wonder why people would say that. It's like, you can't afford to go back. Like, it's easy to go back. What you mean you can't afford to? But now I understand that. I can't afford to lose my peace of mind that I have right now. I can't afford to give up everything that God is doing through me, in me. For me. I cannot afford to lose that. I can't afford to go back, because guess what? I ain't got nothing to go back to. Whew. My goodness. All of that was in my past. If I'm running, what I'm running to? Okay? If I'm running away from who I am now, what am I running to? Who am I running to? It's nothing in my past, nobody in my past that's able to give me this peace of mind, this feeling that I have now. So if I'm running because I feel a little overwhelmed, or if I'm running because I'm like, Lord, am I qualified? I'm self-sabotaging again. If I'm running back, where I'm running to? Who I'm running to? And that's been my thought process. And I've had to think about that. But I had to come deliver this word, child. Don't run now. Don't run now. When you are walking in what you've been praying for, don't run. Don't run now. At least don't run back. You can run forward. You can keep running forward, run to the finish line. But don't run away from it. Don't run away from what God is doing in your life. It may be scary. You may be afraid, because the unknown is afraid. Waking up every day a new person and not knowing what it is that God is going to do in your life, that can be scary because you are so used to being in the driver's seat. But that's the problem with some of us. We so used to doing everything by ourselves because we independent. Okay, I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. But God is like, yes, you do. You need, let me just say this. God ain't gonna make you choose him. He ain't gonna make you choose him. But he gonna always show you that you do need somebody, and that somebody that you need is me. God gonna always show you that. And I was the type of person that, like, I wasn't real big on that, but I was the type of person, I had a little of that in me. Like, I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. I'm independent. I can do it myself, child. Like, I don't need you to do nothing for me. I ain't like asking people to do nothing for me anyway. But God sat me down and humbled me and like, you need people, but more than you needing people, baby, you need me. Because if you don't have me, what do you have? If you ain't got God, what you got? And so I'm steady running away from the person that I need. I'm steady running away from the things that I need instead of running towards it. Instead of running towards it and running on to that finish line, running on to become the person that God has for me to become. Don't run now. Don't turn around and run back to what's comfortable because you getting stretched a little bit. Don't turn back and run back to that toxic relationship because now you afraid that, Lord, now I ain't got nobody, so am I ever going to get married? Am I ever going to be happy again? Don't run back to what was comfortable to you. Because just because it was comfortable to you, baby, it wasn't good for you. And you know it wasn't good for you, so why run back to what wasn't good for you? Instead of running back to that, you keep running forward. Because I guarantee you, let me tell you, I am a person who, I've been in a toxic relationship before. And if I'd have ran back to that toxic relationship, I would have missed out on the person that I am with now, the person that God had for me. I would have missed out on that if I'd have ran back to that toxic relationship. So sometimes just because it's comfortable to us, don't mean that it's good for us. So instead of running back to that, you pray and ask God, Lord, give me the strength to keep moving forward. Lord, give me the strength to trust in you. And that be the problem. We don't trust God 100%. My goodness, we do not trust God 100%. And that is why sometimes we find ourselves running back to those situations that's comfortable to us, running back to those people that we don't need to be running back to, running back to those situations that we should have just buried a long time ago, because we don't fully 100% trust that God knows what's best. And the reason we don't is because we trying to do everything by ourselves. We've been trying to do everything by ourselves. So it's easy to trust in you and trust you to lead you right. But are you leading you right? Okay, let's go there for a minute, because we gonna always think that we making the best decisions for us, but some decisions that we make for us are not the best for us, and it leads us into a life of turmoil. It leads us into a life of, just a life of chaos, a life of trauma. It leads us there. And it's like we think we making the best decision, but God is like, no. And God be just looking at us. Like, I can imagine if God was human and he was just like here with us, he'd be looking at us like, are you done? Like, are you finished yet? Because you keep on doing the same thing. You keep on making these plans. You see that it's failing. But when you see that it's failing, or you see that something ain't going right, you see that relationship ain't working out, you steady talking about, but if I can just go back one more time, I'll give it one more chance. And God is just looking at us like, baby, are you done yet? Are you finished yet? Are you finished running back to what's not good for you? Are you ready to run to me? My arms open. This is what God is saying to us. My arms are open. I'm right here waiting on you. Are you ready to run back to me? Run to me. Are you ready to let me give you rest? Are you ready to let me elevate you? Are you ready to let me show up and show out in your life? And so I want to encourage you, listen, don't run back. If you're going to run anywhere, run forward. Run to God. Run to his arms, run to his safe haven. And just know that when you start walking in what you've been praying for, when you start seeing that you healed a little more every single day, baby, don't run back to what broke you. Oh, my goodness. Do not run back to what broke you. Don't run back to the sore. Ooh. Listen, whoever you are, do not run back to what broke you, what just bent you all out of shape, what destroyed you, what made you question your worth, what made you question your value, what made you insecure, what made you less confident in yourself. Don't you run back to what broke you. Don't you run back to what caused you pain. Don't go back. Don't go back. You keep moving forward, because whatever you think you lost, baby, it ain't nothing compared to what God is gonna do for you. Whatever you think you gave up, I'm missing out on this. Whatever you think you missing out on, baby, God got so much waiting for you. He's just waiting for you to run to him. And listen, whoever you are, this is on me so heavy. Don't go back. You deserve more. You deserve so much more. Don't run away from what God is calling you to do. Don't run away from who God is calling you to become. I know you scared. I feel you. I feel you. You are afraid. I feel you. You don't know what's going to happen. I feel you. But let me tell you, I also know that if you run to God and you let God do his thing that he does best, baby, when you come out on that other side, when you get away from what hurt you, when you get away from what pains you, baby, God is going to blow your mind. But don't go back, okay? Don't run back. That's my word to you. And that's all I got for this episode, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and close this episode out with the Girl Just Heal mantra. And if you know it, go ahead and say it with me. So the mantra is, I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, I choose to heal. Yes, yes, yes. One more time, y'all. I accept myself for who I am. I free myself from all fear. And today, baby, today, this moment, right now, today, I choose to heal. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Girl Just Heal podcast. I'm Neimoya Basden, and until we speak again, girl, just heal. All right, homegirl, thank you for tuning in to the Girl Just Heal podcast. We want to make sure that we continue supporting you during your healing journey, so be sure to connect with us on all social media platforms at Girl Just Heal, and also join our private Girl Just Heal Facebook community so that you can continue to heal, grow, and evolve.